bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate the world, peaches ripe.
I even told you how the large gametes are provided by women and the small gametes are provided by men. So you're actually even providing less material.
Yeah, and also like you just provided the you provided the blueprint, right? Like who actually built the house, or essentially the child, was the woman. It was their resources, it was their uterus that provided like the surroundings that are conducive for the child to grow. So you didn't do anything.
But we did. We gave you that child. We gave you the sperm.
We didn't.
Yes. So
you
please,
didn't give us the child. Sure, your contribution is one sperm. And I don't know how you can say that this is essentially an equal contribution when your contribution is less than 20 minutes. And again, you're contributing less genetic material.
It was like 5 seconds, Kinsey. Let's be realistic.
I'm sorry. You're right. I was being charitable.
Can a woman have a child without a man?
Why is that the standard that you are setting? Because then that makes you important?
No, I'm not setting a standard. What I'm saying is that both men and women are needed to have a kid.
No one's disagreeing with that. We're talking in terms of like who is the actual creator and providing the most labor for the product, and it's women.
And no one's disagreeing with that.
Then we are the creators.
But both are needed to create it.
But that doesn't make you the creator. Like Kiara said, just because you give me materials does not mean that you created the house.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I've been saying this many times. I'm not disagreeing with that. The part I'm disagreeing with is that a lot of people in this chat seem to think that a woman cannot have a child. A woman can have a child without a man.
Come on.
Yes, I said that, and they all spammed yes in the chat. They literally all spammed yes.
About the physical presence of the man, right? Like maybe we need your genetic material, sure, but we don't even need you to be physically present to procreate. So if we just go to a sperm bank, we can
boom, you just said a sperm bank. Guess where that sperm comes from?
I
a man.
understand that. That's what I said. We need your genetic material, but we don't need your presence. Do you know the difference?
Yes, once again, I've never disagreed with that.
Okay, so women are the creators, correct, and they contribute like a disproportionate amount to the creation of life, whereas men just provide genetic material, which is negligible in comparison to what women provide.
And once again, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah, so women are better. Thank you. Great.
No. What? If you want to sit here and have a topic and talk about which gender is more superior than the other, this is just going to be a subjective emotional argument. We're not going to actually get anywhere.
Why is it an emotional argument?
Because people believe or think or feel that one gender is more superior than the other. That's an emotional argument. There's no biological fact to back that up.
Can I ask you why you think that we would make like a claim like that? Is it just based on our emotions, or do you think that we can? Do you think we can? Yeah, do you think that we can analyze society in a critical way and look at information given and then make like a logical conclusions on whether or not we prefer one gender over the other and think one is superior over the other? Do you think that that's possible too?
Within what terms? Biological or just societal?
In like many ways, yeah. I mean, there's like several like tenets like of us, or there's like several criteria of us finding something more superior. I don't see a lot of like biological benefits, but we just described a biological process where we do think that women are superior over men.
Once again, if you're just going to make a generalized statement and I give my answer, then I'm trapped either way. I want to be specific. So what exact criteria are we talking about?
Well, why can't we have a criteria that is multidimensional? Why does it have to be based on one subject?
Because if we're talking about societal versus biology and we mix the two together, then we're going to get confusing answers.
I disagree. Like, just because we have a complex answer, like you might get confused, sure, but...
So that's insulting. But the point I'm making here is that, for example, people in society believe that, trans people can, go and become a woman and then they can get pregnant. I'm not here to debate trans people, but that's going against biology. But in societal,
trans men can get pregnant. So what you said isn't wrong.
Okay, so are we talking about people who were born a woman and then become a man? Because then, yes, because they were born a woman.
No one is born a woman.
Oh my God. If you want to have the gender versus sex debate, we're not going to get anywhere.
You started that. Like,
I didn't know before you did.
You brought it up. Like, if you don't want to talk about it, fine.
I brought up trans people. I didn't bring up the gender versus sex debate.
You brought up that society thinks that trans people can be pregnant, and Kenzie says yes, that is true, because trans men can.
Trans men can get pregnant.
So we agree. If we disagree, you can debate it, or you can like not bring it up.
I'll be specific. People who are born a female can do it. Cool. No one disagrees with that because they're still female.
Yeah, we agree. Great.
We don't disagree.
So that's completely different. Cool. I'm glad we agree.
What is completely different? Like, we never said anything that is indifferent to that, and I don't think anybody's making the claim that somebody that is a male that can carry pregnancy.
I find this crazy that you guys call yourselves feminists, but you're toxic.
It's even crazy. Like, what's the argument? Oh, okay, I thought so.
What is feminist? It's crazy you call yourself feminist. Like, what is feminism then? You wanna pivot to another topic?
It's so funny when people get mad about the topics that they brought up. Like, it's like not necessary. You know that? Like, you don't have to bring it up if you don't want to talk about it.
I want to be canceled because the guy that just got shut up, I agree with him.
Okay, what's your take?
We are mammals. We are part of the animal kingdom. There's no way you can change your sex. No way.
There are sex characteristics that are malleable.
No. At all.
Yeah.
In the animal kingdom, let's say I have a dog right here. I have my dog. If I cut the balls of my dog, he's going to still be a male dog. Okay?
Sure.
Some of their phenotypical, you change like some of their phenotypical
There's
sex.
not going to be nowhere.
Do you know how sex characteristics are comprised and how we like define sex? Do you understand that?
There's no way I can understand that because there's no way that you can explain it.
I mean, I can't.
At the end of the day,
I can't explain it. I mean, if you don't understand it, that's one thing, but I can absolutely explain it. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole study to that. Like, it's I think it's called biology.
One second, Fernando. 1 second. She's explaining it to you.
Yeah, I think it's called biology, right? Like
Fernando, when I say 1 second, I mean shut up. Thank you. Go ahead, Kiara.
So yeah, there's like a whole study dedicated to this field. It's called biology. And within biology, like we study like certain biological aspects of human nature, which would include like sex characteristics. So that can be explained. If you don't understand it, that's fine. That's like usually college level. But that's okay. But we can try to explain it in like a simple way.
Can I answer?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much. There's no way you can change your biology. My brain is bigger than yours. I'm a male, you're a female. There's no way you can change that.
The sex dimorphic brain has been debunked. Like, while there are areas of the brain that are obviously influenced based on biology and hormones, there is not like what is considered a male brain and what is considered a female brain. So I don't know why you're bringing that.
My skin is thicker than yours.
So are you familiar with what hormones are?
My bones are thicker than yours.
And I doubt that. Are you familiar with what hormones are?
Yeah.
Okay. So is there such a thing where you can suppress your hormones?
Wait, you can suppress whatever you want, but I can take any one you want.
So there is medication that you can take that'll essentially stop your hormone production. If that happens, is there medication you can take that will give you a different type of hormone?
No.
So trans people are not going on hormone replacement therapy and replacing the biological hormones with...
They're going to something that is really awful.
That's not the question I asked you. I asked you if this is happening to where they previously...
No, I know. And the fallout of this idea that you guys are having is going to be awful.
Fernando.
I don't know how you can hear me when you're talking.
Exactly. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're not making any ethical claims right now. We're covering the basics because I feel like there's a fundamental... I know it's really hard for you to listen, but really quickly, we're trying to establish a fundamental understanding before we go into the ethics and morality of it. Because I don't think you can handle it right now if you don't even understand the basics. Kenzie, go ahead.
So, Fernando, what is hormone replacement therapy? What happens? I don't know if Ahmad muted you or you muted yourself. Do you need to be invited? I invited you.
Okay, you're gonna give hormone to a person that is okay with their body. Is I don't know. I don't understand.
Wait, I'm just asking you. Are you aware of hormone replacement therapy? Do you know what that is?
Well, I don't know, and I think it's bullshit.
Okay, wait. I don't understand how you can say I don't know and then say I think it's bullshit. Like, how can you have an opinion on something you don't know about?
Biology or whatever, evolution give us a body. We have this, and you're gonna do that to your body. I don't understand.
Against me as a cis woman getting breast augmentation?
Well,
can I get bigger breasts if I would like so as a female?
That's fine.
Oh, okay, it is fine. I was just wondering.
That's great for your husband and your boyfriend.
Sure. So
Yeah,
I don't have to accept my biology, right? I don't have to accept that I have small bits.
No, that's not.
I can make them bigger if I want to.
Come on.
Is that
Come on.
No, I'm just asking. So do I have to accept biology or can I get bigger breasts, yes or no? Okay.
I don't understand the question because it's based
explain it to you.
on something that does not exist.
Yeah, let me help you, Fernando. Okay, so first of all, trans women do exist. I think that's not even an argument, and I think you know that trans women exist.
I think it's a tragedy. What is going on?
Anyways, so you just said we were talking about how we can change sex characteristics and how we can change our sex.
No, I'll mend your friend.
Our phenotypical sex can be altered. And I just have given you an example how I am altering a phenotypical sex characteristic as a cis woman, and you were okay with it. Yes, but however, when a trans woman does it, you have a problem with it. And I don't understand the difference, and I would like.
I don't want people sterilize this. Is because you're gonna be sterilized.
A what?
You're not gonna be
trans people terrorize society, which is a wild take.
You're not gonna be capable to have children.
Who says that?
It's awful.
That's incorrect. First
It's
of all,
awful.
like I don't think
awful.
why does a trans woman terrorize society by altering their appearance, but me as a cis woman doing the same thing does not terrorize the society? I don't understand it.
No, I don't understand you.
I think he said sterilized. There we go. No, people don't get
terrorize. My bad. I mean, Kiara, do we really
you want to renounce to have children because you think you're a man?
I mean, don't
we want more than one brain cell? Like
maybe two.
You have that idea? Come on. I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher?
And I'm really worried what's going on.
And, I don't think can I ask? Can I ask for what subject?
History teacher.
Oh, okay. Did you get like any biology classes in college? I'm wondering.
No, I don't know what to do anymore with these people.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, I need more than one brain cell. Like, I appreciate that, like, this is entertaining, but...
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, I felt you guys were being very rude to that guy and talking down to him. I got a simple thing to combat your argument, because your argument's pointless. On either side. Cis women being able to modify themselves is the equivalent of, yada yada.
Well, so he was making a moral argument that essentially you shouldn't change your biology, and so Kiara presented him with an example.
That's not a moral argument.
What?
It's not a moral. He wasn't coming from a moral.
He was making a moral argument. That's why she.
If you say you should not do something, that is a moral claim.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
I shouldn't drive down the road at 100 miles an hour in a 35
Yes, because you could cause harm. That's a moral argument.
That's not a moral dilemma. That is common sense.
It is. No, it is a moral. It is a moral claim. I don't want you to do that. Okay, here's the philosophical explanation, since you don't know how philosophy works. So I don't want you to drive down the road 100 miles an hour drunk.
We're not diverting the conversation.
Because it could. Yeah, it could.
We are, because you don't know what a moral claim is.
It's not a moral claim. You're wrong.
Can you define moral claim?
Let's get back to the point.
Wait, you said it's not a moral claim, so can you define? We are.
I'm making my point. You're not making your point.
We are still on the same point.
You want to debate.
We are on the same. We are debating. We are on the same point, because I was sustained. One second. I know you're eager to speak, but I assure you, like, I know I don't get paid per word. I'm very direct, and I was essentially showing you why Kiara offered that premise, because he was making a moral claim, and now you're saying no, that's incorrect. So could you define moral claim for us?
So you have a mentally ill person, right? And they are
self-defining moral claim.
I'm not doing that.
Why?
Because it's diverting from the conversation, and I don't want to be
diverting from the conversation. You were telling us that argument didn't make sense, and so now we're telling you how it did. And you're saying he was not making a moral claim.
We're not going down that way, and we're going to talk about the subject that he was talking about, so that way we can clarify.
No. You don't need to dictate what's going to happen, because you're making claims. We're pushing back on that.
I have the right freedom of speech. If you don't want me to talk about what I'm going to talk about, go ahead.
Do you think I'm the government?
I don't care if you're the government.
Well, then what does freedom of speech have anything to do with it?
So sorry, but can you like turn off your background music? It's like,
I don't know if you're like getting a massage or what, but yeah, okay.
I was really trying to make you can fill out the complaint cards, like, and when you exit out the app, like when you press that little X, you can get a little complaint card, because we were talking down at him. Jesus Christ.
No, I really enjoyed the feedback. You were being really rude, duh. Like, you don't think I know that?
Yeah. God. I love the tone, please. Wee-oo.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
What's up?
Not much. How are you?
I'm all right.
Great. What's your take?
Let's see here. Pro-abortion. Yes, but no.
What does that mean?
Feminism is still needed.
Wait. I just want to say, this works like a menu, not a survey. So when you come up, you're supposed to pick one, not tell us what you think about each one. So which one do you want to talk about?
Oh, the arguing begins, eh?
Well, this is a menu, not a survey.
It literally says debate of feminists. Like, did I not give proper instruction?
Are you proud of being a cunt?
Bro, are you proud of reading?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, we love being a cunt.
Okay, so do you want to have a conversation or?
Wait, are you gonna pick one though? Like, we want to have a
we're telling you to
conversation,
pick a topic. I don't know why you think we're not into actually having a debate.
We're waiting on you, bro.
Okay, well, let's start from the top.
Okay.
Debate a feminist. That's my first mistake, but let's continue. Pro-abortion.
Your first mistake?
Yeah. Pro-abortion. I do believe in abortion, but I do think that as a woman, if it doesn't affect you psychologically in a negative way after you get one, you were not fit to be a mother in the first place. Feminism is still needed.
Wait,
Yes.
wait, you're treating it like a survey again. We're having a debate. Why?
Okay, go ahead.
Why?
Because if you don't have that motherly instinct to give life in the first place, then you shouldn't be a mother.
Maternal instinct is not real.
What do you mean?
A maternal instinct is not real. I don't know how else you would like me to phrase that. That what you said does not exist.
Maternal instinct is not real?
Correct.
Are you being serious right now?
I sure am.
What is the difference between maternal instinct and paternal instinct? Let me help you a little bit.
The dad teaches the kid how to fix cars and throw around a football, and the mom teaches the girl how to...
That's an instinct? You know what an instinct is? Like, that would mean that, like, you know, like...
Oh, now you're correcting me what an instinct is.
Yeah,
yes, because those aren't instincts.
Yeah, like, if that was an instinct, that would mean that, like, literally, like, the cavemen were teaching their children how to throw around footballs and fix cars.
Well, do you think can you teach me how to fix a car if you were my mom?
Yeah.
That's weird that he's already calling you mommy. Sure, why wouldn't a person, like any person who's versed on mechanics, not be able to teach you?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there are women mechanics, but the thing is, a woman is smart.
Genetic about men that makes them more like better with cars, or
no? The women are smart. They prefer the men to do the dirty work, right? So that's why feminists are incorrect, because men are still needed.
Wait, what is feminism?
So wait, we're on abortion, okay? We're not on men aren't needed.
Well,
so when it comes to abortion, one second, you said your claim was that if you get an abortion and you don't have any psychological or mental trauma from it, that you are not going to be a good mother because you lacked maternal instinct. And I've told you maternal instinct is not real. And you haven't really addressed that. Well,
I'm not addressing it because it's silly, and I don't want to address something that's silly.
So saying something is silly is not an argument.
You want me to argue with someone with 700 people in the same room that believe in the same thing?
That's typically what a debate is, yeah.
That's typically what you signed up for when you requested.
I don't know what viewers have to do with anything. If there is a maternal instinct and what you classified is essentially a part of that, then prove it. There should be some literature on it, right?
I'm just giving you an example. Fixing cars is just an example. It's not like...
That's not an instinct.
We got off the point.
Okay, a woman can breastfeed, right? Can a man breastfeed?
Is that a maternal instinct?
Yes. You have to hold a baby close to your chest and let it suck the teat.
That would not be...
There are many women who are unable to essentially produce breast milk. So no, that would not be an instinct.
Would you marry a man who can produce breast milk, or would you feel unsafe in your own home that this guy doesn't know what he is, he's mentally ill, and he's going to touch your children?
What are you talking about?
That is the biggest pivot I think that like even in the history of NBA we've ever seen. Like you should really like call Scottie Pippen and just be like,
can condescend me all you want, but I have a point.
I will. It's very enjoyable for me because these are the most brain dead, stupid takes. I want to be intellectually challenged, and you're up here saying the most brain dead shit with the confidence of a mediocre white man, and I'm getting frustrated because you're not.
You're a white woman.
Fucking debate me, bro. Debate me.
What do you want me to say? Like, you clearly can't read between the lines.
Can you out maternal instinct, please?
You make everything so complicated, and like you're not hearing. Like
we already know you lack nuance. Can you define maternal instinct, please?
We already know what?
We already know that you lack nuance and the ability to like analyze like complex topics, but can you please define a maternal instinct for us?
I don't understand how you guys go through life being such cunts.
When we're doing great.
It's really enjoyable. Like, I don't know why you think that hurts my feelings.
It doesn't. I'm just trying to tell you that
conceptualize your own argumentation, and you think that your opinion has any validity here. Like,
you're not gonna be happy if you live your life as a man.
You're clearly
Why don't you just listen to what I'm saying to you and take it in?
Why do I need to listen to what you're saying to me? You don't make sense. You don't actually have any conceptualization of your own argumentation. You have made one premise, and we have asked you to define a concept within that premise, and you haven't gotten that far.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about?
Oh, you just got a violation for harassment and bullying, so fucking peace, my guy.
Oh well. If we were to ever find out what maternal instinct is, though, world would be a better place.
Oh, I think you were in here earlier. If you want to like wait 20 minutes, I don't know if you're still in here, maybe you can come back.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
All right, thank you. Extra, let me choose men should submit to women.
I'm sorry?
Men should submit to women.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and in actual fact, I don't agree. Maybe if we can define what submission is all about.
We can define what?
Because I'm saying, yes, I don't agree unless we can, just to understand what submission in terms of men. I mean, when I speak about men to men, I don't mean in terms of sex, I mean human to human when it's come to that. So I think I don't agree that men should submit to women, but men should love women and women should submit to men.
So I really didn't catch much of your argument. I essentially just heard you make a counter argument that women should submit to men, and I would ask why.
You see, submission is all about authorities. That we should also how can I say, takes life orders from women in an actual effect, like orders to rule, order to govern, so order to determine what should happen in, let me say, what should, in an actual effect, the priority orders on what should happen in a relationship. I don't know how to define this, but if men should not, I think we are looking at certain, disorders here. when we want, this can be a complex, life. If we are, here to look at that there are men who are unable to do certain things as, again, similar to women. If we are comparing this, but let us come to normality of life. In terms, if a normal man and a normal woman, come together, a woman should submit, a man.
Well, that was fast.
Hello. Welcome.
Hi. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. I wanted to talk about feminism and feminist theory and get your thoughts. Is that okay?
Are you here to debate?
Yeah, I think that it's just like there's a lot of things I don't understand, and I just about feminism and feminist theory today, and it's really I've had a lot of conflicts about what I've thought about what feminism is and what it is.
Depends on what type of feminism are you referring to, just so we can,
So I think it was this. So like when I started learning about feminists, I was introduced to someone named Mary Daly, and I'm not sure if that's considered second wave or third wave feminism that she was a big part of. And there's a lot of these feminists that I kind of started reading about and understanding, and then I find a lot about how they wrote some stuff about
If you're
trans.
looking more for education, I would recommend that you join the Discord.
define maternal instinct for me.
You wanted to come back so bad. I'm sorry, Kiara, what'd you say?
No, I was just asking if we can get a definition for maternal instinct now.
I don't even know if he knows he's live.
She guy with you. Okay, well he muted, so.
Oh, I muted him.
Oh. Kinda did sound like he was pissing, potentially.
It really did. Hello, welcome.
Paul Chipman, you're on live. Earth to Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on live, Paul.
No, that was a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do disagree. Wait, Herman.
I mean,
still trying to.
It was a mistake.
Still trying to provoke a conversation, maybe.
I finished crocheting my elephant. He's moderately terrifying.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
But
Oh my God!
there he is. There he is. He's done.
Can we call him Pinocchio?
Yeah, I think we can. I thought his nose was going to be more curved, but that's fine. I still think he's cute.
He is very cute.
Yeah.
Can I order one in advance?
Was it Keyfield? Keyfield?
Yeah.
What'd you take?
Yeah, listen to me. Listen. Write this down. If you go to heaven and I am not there, you have gone to hell.
Oh. Is that
Noted.
the case?
Anything else?
Why do you think I want to be around you? Okay.
Did anyone write this down? I forgot.
Yeah, I don't
Write
know.
this down because it's so complex. It needs to be transcribed.
I swear to God, it's like 20-something-year-old men. It's like finding Tumblr posts. It's like the equivalent. Like they saw like a Tumblr post on something or on Pinterest. They're like, this is the quote of the day.
That was fascinating.
Hello, hi. Sorry. I just opened a can of fizzy drink, and so I was just taking a swig. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So I don't know that I'm going to debate, but just picking up on some of the points that were made, that I'd like to just trans women can breastfeed, so can trans men. So I just wanted to clear that up. If you go on the World Lactation Network, it tells you how that can happen. So that's a thing, which is cool. And the maternal instinct thing, I wanted to also, am I allowed to, I don't know what the rules are with this stuff. Are we allowed to ask questions about things that you've said during the debate?
I think we're mostly
typically this is a debate space. Do you have like a counter to anything?
I don't know if I have a counter. I would just like to understand what you mean when you're differentiating between biology and mother's instinct, because I think that from my understanding, and I'm not trans, so I don't know, I can't speak for the trans community or the intersex community, but my understanding is that to conflate the two things, both sides sometimes have difficulty with that, because they're not intersex, they're trans, and the intersex are not trans, they're intersex. And so they really, the message that I'm getting from trans people and intersex people is that they don't want to be seen in the same kind of light. So then it brings me to the maternal instinct biology. What do you mean by
Yeah, so maternal instinct isn't real, because when it comes to essentially care that parents provide, it is all learned behavior. It doesn't naturally come to anyone.
Okay, I think I understand what you mean. So just point to note, in my home, we don't have traditional roles. So my partner is more the caregiver and all that, and I work. So we don't have like the nuclear setup. However, there have been studies done that have demonstrated that women produce oxytocin when they comfort their children. So potentially a trans woman could, because of the hormonal differences, right? So
when we were talking about maternal instinct, that was not in any way correlated to trans people. That was an abortion topic.
So
we weren't making any claims when it came to trans people and parental instinct. Those were two different discussions with two different people.
We just don't hold the belief that biology dictates your ability to have any form of maternal instinct. That is a very socialized behavior. And I think that we can also see that within those studies, we see that men have increase of oxytocin when the woman gives birth.
I just Googled it even, and it says that a father's interactions with his children produce a similar rise in oxytocin levels.
Yeah,
but it's different interaction. They get it from when they're playing with them, whereas that's why children will often run to their mother if they're sad, and they'll go to their dad to play, because that's where they get the reward, the oxytocin reward there.
Yeah, that can be socialized too, though. No.
I'm speaking as well, it is and it isn't. I think it's a nuanced thing, isn't it?
Sure, but I don't think that it's necessarily you being of the female sex, therefore you are providing all the maternal instincts that society has put upon you. That's a social structure. That's a social expectation.
Yeah, I'm reading even on just what Cher just said. It says, it turns out that fathers get many of the same pressures that mothers do from parenthood, but the payoff depends on the proximity and interaction. For example, researchers see... Can you turn off the background music, Dula? Thank you. Researchers see the effect if the child sleeps with the parents, if the father recognizes and responds to the baby's cries, if the dad plays with the kids. When that proximity isn't present, the fatherhood effect isn't as strong. So, as Chair said, this is something that's socialized and not something that's inherent. It comes from the father's increased interactions with the child.
The only use of oxytocin, I believe, why there's like an increase in like the skin-to-skin connection with the baby in mothers, like especially after birth, is due to the production of breast milk. Like that would be something I would concede to, that's a biological function. But
say that again. Sorry. What did you just say? I missed that bit.
That oxytocin, right? Increases milk production. So the skin-to-skin that increases like oxytocin or higher oxytocin levels, there is like a biological function to that because it can induce lactation. I think that there is a biological purpose for it, but as we see that men also have increased oxytocin levels, it is simply due to the fact that we have like all this instinct to like, not instinct, but this desire to care for our children.
I think I agree with you in terms of if we're looking at instinct, maternal instinct, or a gender role, I agree with you that gender roles are very much defined by society. However, understanding the endocrine system as I do and birth, it isn't oxytocin that produces milk. It's a number of things, and prolactin is the primary one. So, but you know, I'm here to help.
Wait, Dula, I'm not saying that it produces breast milk. It induces the production of breast milk. It's one of the hormones that aid with the production of it. I know that it's not the thing that produces it.
No, there's more than one. There's many hormones.
I
just think that.
I understand.
Yeah,
I said it helps with the production, like it helps inducing with the production of breast
I'm
milk.
also reading that it says there's an indication that brain patterns for stay-at-home dads are similar to changes that moms go through. It also says humans are alloparental species, which means mothers get help. In some cultures, it's the father. In other cultures, it's the grandmother, the aunts, the older children. So it's just that we've socialized that the mother is typically the one that, you know, like is meant to comfort the child, whereas the dad is meant to play. It's not an inherent thing. It's a way that we've socialized parenting. Because I would argue that children, back when, like, you know, the mothers and fathers used to go and hunt and the children would be left to the grandparents, the child would still, like, we would still see that sort of hormonal outcome with the grandparents, even though they didn't like, even give birth to the child.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, because it's almost like, so I wouldn't disagree with the point that you're making, that potentially when we're fulfilling those roles as defined by society, you know, that's where that kind of reward is, you know, because I get that. But when it comes to hunter-gatherers, it was the men that would hunt, but the women that would carry it and would know.
No, there's been studies that show that both men and women hunted, and the grandchildren or grandparents took care of the children.
I didn't say that that's really not true. I just said.
One second. So it really depends at what point in history we're talking about, because if we're talking about essentially like when our life expectancy was around 20, yes, the hunter-gatherer idea was a little bit more popular because there were grandparents to leave the children with, because people died at young ages. But once our age span increased, 79% of civilizations had women who hunted.
Yes, I was agreeing with that. But that is still the case in some remote communities, and there are also you know, communities that are matrilineal, right? So
right,
you know,
I'm really confused on what your premise or your basis in the conversation
Also,
is.
can you mute when you're not talking, Dula? Because you have a lot of background noise.
I don't think it's me. Is it? I don't have any.
I can hear children.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me put my earphones in. Sorry.
You can just mute when you're not talking.
Shut the door.
Fix it.
I guess my premise is that we can't say, because obviously in the line of work that I do, biology does play a huge role. And I just think that intersex and trans are two different things. And I think that's the point that I'm making.
I don't know who made that claim that they aren't.
I think that you mentioned I'm not going to argue with you because you did mention intersex when you were saying that biology doesn't make a difference. So that is what I'm speaking to.
I didn't. I have not brought intersex people up today.
Oh no, you did.
I did not.
You did.
If you like, you can rewatch in the replay. It might have been Belle or Kiara, but no, I haven't.
I haven't either. That was
intersex people.
I don't think I did either.
Because essentially what you were referring to was the abortion debate that we were describing, and that had nothing to do with trans people or intersex people. We were simply inquiring what maternal instincts are, because we are under the belief that it's a societal construction rather than a biological one.
Yeah, I think you might have heard us
maybe
say
Kiara said
intersection.
intersectional. Yeah.
Okay, intersectional. Fair enough. Okay, well, that's cool. It's been a pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Exactly. I don't know how to leave. You might have to kick me out.
Sure.
Maybe I said interstate.
Yeah.
Was that Belle?
Yeah, that was just my reaction to that conversation.
It was like a child's whine.
Yeah.
Yes, I was listening in if there was a baby cooing. Is astrology still taking a shower?
I guess so.
I don't know. I think it's funny he's up here muted. Cause you
I love you, Daddy.
Or man-like.
Sorry, what's bad about men being men-like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, you're saying toxic masculinity is real, but all it really is telling men to be more like men, like more masculine, more man-like. You know what I mean? I don't
What is
understand how that's a bad
masculinity?
thing. Huh?
What is masculinity?
What do you mean, what's masculinity? It's like
what are these behaviors? What are these characteristics or traits?
like male characteristics, you know what I'm saying?
Like what?
like normal male, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Give me give me a bullet point list of what those are.
I mean, I don't know, taking care of your family, not
So
being
if you
weak,
don't
for
take care,
example.
like if you're like a young man and you don't have a family, you're not masculine?
Well, obviously not.
Okay, so you're only masculine if you have a family.
No, it doesn't. Not in that way. It's just you know the characteristics of a masculine male. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm asking, this is your argument, so I'm asking you to kind of define what these characteristics are.
Ladies, you don't have to come into a room with 700 other women just because you're single. Just let's have like Spring Break Girls Gone Wild and solve all our problems.
Go ahead, Cass.
I don't know. I can say like a characteristic of a masculine man is like not being weak, providing and protecting. You know what I mean? Like things like that.
Is that it?
Well, no, that's not all of it, but that's probably
Well, what's
like
the rest?
I can't tell you off the top of my head like every single characteristic of a male.
So it's interesting when men come up here and want to talk about the ideas of masculinity and really can't conceptualize what masculinity is. So toxic masculinity would be defined by the character traits of aggression, stoicism, competition, dominance, misogyny, and homophobia.
How is being derogatory to gay people a toxic masculinity trait? I don't get it.
Because essentially the traditional traits of masculinity are defined through a heteronormative lens. And so you reject essentially any rejection of heteronormativity. So you shame other men to try and get this not only to succumb to heteronormativity, but also typically gay men in some stereotypes can present more feminine characteristics. And because masculinity essentially wants to require the standard that you reject all ideas of femininity, then you also are homophobic.
Right. Okay. I mean, I guess I understand where you're coming from.
Don't worry about this Andrew Tate guy. Just talk to me. This guy's basic. You won't learn anything from him.
From who, me? No, I just came on here to ask a question. I'll be honest with you. Like, oh yeah, there's another one. Right? Men should submit to women. What does that mean?
I think men should submit to the authority of women, and that women should be the leaders of society.
You know what would be crazy? If a man did a live saying the exact opposite, bro. That would be misogyny on a crazy level, bro. Everyone would be saying misogyny on a mad level.
Okay.
Why is that your opinion?
I'm not saying that we should like show men violence or like grape them like men do to women. I think it's in men's
women do that
instinct.
to men as well. It's just
predominantly the outcome is men doing that to women.
If you graped me, there's nothing I could say about it.
Okay.
Nobody would take me serious.
What?
Yeah, so I think it's men's nature to submit, because if we look at like a lot of institutions that men have set up with under the patriarchy, it's all about submission. Like if you look at the police, male-dominated arena, that's about submission. If you look at the military, that's about submission. If you look at like the boys club within corporate America, that's about submission.
As in submission, as in like what?
You submit to others' authority. So it seems that that's the type that like men's natural instinct is to submit. And then if you look at women's behavior throughout history, since we've been oppressed under the patriarchy, like women have continuously been fighting for their independence as well as demonstrating acts of leadership. So if we're going to say that there's one gender who naturally demonstrates their need to submit and one gender that naturally demonstrates their need to lead and be independent, it would be women for the latter and men for the former.
I just want to point something out really quick. Astrology thinks we want him, and this is the food that he has posted on his page that he's cooking. Hold on, let me get the big screen just to really show y'all.
Is this Domino's?
You like my food, baby? I was trying to make
Y'all
pasta.
think this man, we want this man when this is the shit he's cooking up? Like,
Yeah, baby. I'll cook it for you. That's like the worst thing I've ever cooked.
why did you post it?
So I was proud. I was proud of myself. Don't be mad because you're hungry. Come on, I know you got some meat on those bones. Thank you.
Anyways, I think that was all I had to say to him.
Go ahead, Cast.
I mean, to be fair with you, to be totally honest, I don't think it's submission. I reckon it's more about discipline, and yeah, I mean, it's really women that throughout history that submitted to men. Really, I mean, men went
women
out
have been
to
fighting
fight in
against the
wars.
authority of men. No, women have been fighting the authority against men, of men. And it is submission because the military, the police, all of that is about following and taking orders. It is not about having independent thought and doing what you want.
So you're telling me I should take a woman's orders, and I shouldn't be able to take my own orders? I shouldn't be able to do what I want?
Generally, as a society as whole, if you're like in a heterosexual relationship, yes, I think she should be the leader because not only do women typically make better leaders, but like I said, it would be like you and your masculine energy where I think you would be most happy and fulfilled.
Which fucking leader is a woman, bro? Like,
there have been many
the best leaders in the world.
What are you
The people that conquered the world were men.
No, you just don't actually know history. There have been many female leaders who have defeated male leaders. Women used to sneak into the military when we weren't allowed to participate.
Is it? So, women...
Yeah, even in the Civil War, there were two...
Hold on a minute. So
Yeah,
women with an army of other women defeated a man army, which was led by a man.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, if we look, it depends what historical time, but I'm sure you've seen like Wakanda. Wakanda is about a real life female army.
Wakanda isn't real.
It's inspired by a true event. Well, it is fictional, but it is
which
inspired by about. Let me look here.
I've never heard in my life
Hold on,
a
Cass, I just
woman.
want to point out
Huh?
that when you say like conquer, I think you mean like Europeans going and like genociding a whole bunch of indigenous people, which I would say is like not a flex whatsoever. That's all.
Okay. I'm really interested in this. Like, I'm actually gonna go and do like as soon as
Dora, inspired by. Let me see here.
I really want to learn more about this army.
Known as the most feared women in the world, the 18th century Dome Amazon warriors are believed to have inspired Marvel's latest blockbuster. So it's the Dome Amazon warriors.
Wait, can you spell that?
DAHOMEY.
Amazon warriors. Alright, I'm gonna do my research on that. And did they defeat a whole army of men? Or is
I
that
mean,
just
they're
like a?
literally called the most feared women army in the world for the 18th
But
century.
that could be someone's opinion. I want to hear history about this war that's happened.
We're an all-female military regiment of the Kingdom of Dome. They existed from the 17th century until the late 19th century. They were the only female army in modern history.
That's interesting.
The emergence of the all-female military regiment was the result of the Dome male population facing high casualties and the increased frequent violence and warfare with neighboring West African states. This led to the Dome being one of the leading states in the slave trade with the empire, which used slaves for commodity and exchange in West Africa until the slave trade. The lack of men recruited women into the army.
Lack of men recruited women into the army.
Yeah,
That's
because of the high
interesting.
violence. Mm-hmm.
Well, so you're telling me all the men were already dead?
Yeah, men were dying. Like, I literally read that.
Right.
Was
So
the result of the
you just
male population facing high casualty. Right. I would argue that typically males were soldiers because males were more of a dispensable sex than females were.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. That's pretty obvious. Like,
right. So it's not necessarily because
you gave me a single army which was
it's
led
not
by
necessarily because
women.
of so
That was it, and you said
that's what you asked
men
for.
are more
That's
submissive.
what you asked for, and I gave it to you.
No, I asked you to give me a battle about where women.
That's not the same argument.
No, well, you just gave me a completely different answer to what I wanted. You know what I mean? You gave me what?
Didn't. You asked me for a female army, and I gave you one. I'm telling you, the reason that typically men were in the military over women is because men are more disposable to a society who essentially needs to continue to survive. Like if you were to have a society, if you were to construct a society that you wanted to survive for multiple centuries, and you could only have 80% of one sex and 20% of the other sex, would you make that society 80% men or 80% women?
I would make that society, to be fair with you. Wait, can you repeat the question?
If you were going to make a society with the goal of that society surviving through the centuries, and you could only organize that society in a way to where 80% had to be one sex and 20% could be the other sex, would you create a society that is 80% men or 80% women?
80% women.
Why?
Because let's say if you wanted to repopulate the planet, then obviously it would take more. It would be easier if there were more women to, impregnate.
Exactly. So I would say that's why, because you exactly. So
yeah, but it wouldn't be as easy though.
1 second. In war, there is high level of casualties. You're at a high risk of losing your life, which is why it makes sense in that time period to send men typically, because your society can continue with less men.
Right.
Right. So it has nothing to do with essentially like submission and leadership.
I mean, that's what you said.
That's not what I said. You brought up that. Like my arguments for like men's desire to naturally submit were not when it came to like military, except in the aspect of like how they've constructed it to be like you submit and you take orders.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I don't think men in history ever like submitted to women.
They did. If we look at prehistoric times, essentially before like written language and I would say before like 4000 BC, yeah, inherently most societies were matriarchal.
Yeah, before the
Even if
Abrahamic.
go ahead, Kiara.
I was just saying, like, just in addition, it was mostly before the construction of Abrahamic religions. Mostly. Like, there was still obviously patriarchal systems before that, but that is one of the biggest introductions of a patriarchal idea.
Yeah, and Michaela brings up a good point too. Like, the reason that patriarchy has been successful is because of colonization.
Right. I mean, I'm also, I want to add to the thing you said before this. You was about men going into war instead of women. I mean, men are physically, biologically stronger than women, so it'd be natural for them to go to war and protect women. You know what I mean?
I mean, no, I don't think that's the predominant reason, because if we look at like other civilizations like the Scythian, I still don't know how to pronounce it, the Scythian tribe, they predominantly fought on horseback with bows and arrows. And so there really was no advantage to being strong, which is why 30% of their female population were actually warriors.
What, only 30?
Huh?
Only 30%?
30% of women, not that the army was 30% women.
Right,
I mean, even
right.
the Scythian queen defeated the king of Persia, I believe. I better look that one up before I guess.
What, with female warriors?
I think it was a mix, but still that shows like female leadership, essentially.
I mean, I'm not saying, no. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, I'm not saying a woman can't lead, but
women
most leaders, like a very, very high percentage of leaders were men.
And most leaders, like a very high percentage, were white.
How does that have anything to do with this?
Well, tell me why they were white. Is because white
That's
people
how they
better?
were born.
No, that's not.
What do you mean? Why
What a scholar!
Past, we're just pointing out that you necessarily having like the trait of being male is not necessarily an indicator of you being a good leader, but there can be contributing factors like colonization, the patriarchy, and other systems that have led you to the top, rather than just you being a man. That is the
right, which is the point. Which is the point I was making with white people.
Exactly. Just because of them being white doesn't make them superior. It's due to like systemic injustices and systematic injustices that have led white people to the top.
All right.
And I think it's just very interesting that the only trait that we're looking for in a leader by your metrics is strength. Like, why does physical superiority matter? If I can name like so many other leadership traits that are way more favorable and way more important. Why is strength the only trait?
Another one you could say is that most women are more emotional than men.
I disagree.
That's incorrect.
Okay.
What's your argument for that?
What's your evidence of that?
No, it's just a common knowledge, isn't it? It's a common fact.
It's not. It's actually a common
It's a stereotype. Yeah, it's a stereotype. And I mean, it's only a stereotype because men have excluded emotions like anger and aggression successfully to make women the emotional ones.
All right. Okay.
That's also an emotion. You know that, right? Anyways, so why is like strength the only trait that is your metric for good leadership? Because if I look at, for example, the leaders of the world, people that have billions of dollars, they look very like fragile. Like I could, definitely dunk Jeff Bezos. Like he looks like he's 170 pounds wet.
I think like Bill Gates would be a better one to dunk. I think Jeff Bezos is tall.
Really? He looks so small to me. He doesn't look like. I mean, he doesn't.
He's 5'7". He is short.
I'm telling you. So why, like,
Bill
why do
Gates
they
is
have, like,
5'10". Wow, I didn't know that.
I could also
I
dunk on
mean,
him. They don't have any strength.
obviously they're going to be fragile if they're old. Like, what do you expect?
Oh, what about Mark Zuckerberg? Mark Zuckerberg's 5'7".
5'7".
Yeah.
How does
Kiara
height
could
have
dunk
anything
on
to do
Mark
with it?
Zuckerberg. He obviously, because he obviously isn't strong, big and strong.
I mean, Mike Tyson was short and he was a crazy fighter. He was strong.
Yeah, but I
Are
would
you
argue
saying
that
Mark Zuckerberg is strong? And that the reason
I'm
he's
not.
a part of like the
How
elite
am I meant to
billionaire
know
class
if?
is because
How am I meant to know if that guy is strong? How am I meant to? Do I know him personally?
well, do you know every woman personally? How do you know that
you
women
haven't
are
met
not strong?
Tyson either, and yet you're making the claim he's strong.
Because I can see him in fights. I can see how much he lifts. I can see this.
Right? Are you
I see
seeing
evidence.
Mark Zuckerberg in fights and seeing how much he lifts?
No, I'm not.
Great. Then can you come to the conclusion that he's probably not like this type of warrior that you're perpetuating is what male leaders are?
But I've never said he. I never said he was a warrior.
Yeah, but you
There's
have
an article called "The Smallness of Mark Zuckerberg." I'm sorry, Kiara. Go ahead.
Well, you have outlined, because we're constantly talking about leadership and submission, and the only thing that you
Right.
have outlined why men are superior than women is strength. And we have given you examples where men are at the top, but they're not really strong. So what is the reason for
mean,
them
back
being on top?
back in the day, they used to be strong. They used to be like mentally strong. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I really
Emotionally
don't.
strong. You know what I mean? Like,
Emotionally strong. Okay, so emotional strength is your characteristic for a leader. Is that correct?
And what are you basing that on?
what am I basing it on?
Yeah.
Just like historical figures. You know what I'm saying?
Like who?
Most male leaders. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, give me one.
I don't know. You could say Genghis Khan.
Genghis
He was a crazy warrior. He killed like
So wait,
everyone.
you were saying he wasn't emotional.
I don't.
Right.
From what I've heard, I don't think he was. I mean, he's killed like millions of people. I think.
Do you think that it's not like a good indicator that somebody is emotional if they want to wipe out like millions of people? I think that's a very
I don't think.
emotional thing to do.
I don't. Well, I don't think he was crying after he killed every person.
Wait. That was
unalive.
exactly my criticism. Like, why do you only characterize like emotions that are associated with femininity as emotions? I would say anger and aggression. Is anger an emotion?
Of course.
Okay, is aggression also an emotion?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I say like emotional, because I mean, like, I don't know, crying. You know what I mean? Like,
Why is that only emotional, even though the other ones are also emotions, therefore emotional? Emotional is a verb, no?
but I'm not saying that.
Or an adjective, sorry.
I'm not saying that being angry isn't an emotion. I'm just saying like.
Yeah, therefore he is emotional. Like if somebody is displaying an emotion that makes them emotional, why are you only associating emotional with what is typically considered feminine emotions? Like why is that your stance? I don't understand it.
I mean, I've never heard anyone being described, you know, as emotional and that person
For being
being
angry? Yeah. Why do you think that
heard
is? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I mean, that's just
Let's
how I
put
grew up, you know what I'm saying? Someone
let's put
said,
our thinking hats on really quick. Okay. So within a patriarchy where we demonize like anything that is associated with femininity. Oh yeah, you have the thinking hat on? Great. So how could it possibly be that any emotion that is typically associated with males would not be classified as emotional? I don't know. I think it's just one of those riddles that we will never come to solve. And that's okay.
okay.
I mean, I would like you to answer her question.
I mean, there's nothing to answer, you know what I'm saying? I don't disagree with the statement.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
there is something to answer. Like, I feel the answer is very obvious. Essentially, that masculine emotions have been viewed as superior, and that feminine emotions have been viewed as inferior, which is why it seemed to be weak to cry, to be vulnerable, yet it's seen as strength, to be angry, to be aggressive. Which is why when you talk about men being rational and women being emotional, you view that as a negative.
The thinking had really helped you, Kenzie. I think you
really
answered my
did.
question.
I think it was the bow. Like.
So what do you think, Cass?
What do I think about what?
What Kenzie just said. Please tell me you listened. I'm begging you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's nothing like. I mean, I don't have a big like thing against it. You know what I'm saying?
No, we understand that. I mean, you have also been a victim from the patriarchy, and we understand how that works. However, like once we present you with evidence of how certain things are constructed, it would almost be like super great if you were to change your opinion.
Nah, I'm not changing my opinion.
Why not?
I don't think women.
Well, you haven't really proved why women
should
should submit to men and that men shouldn't submit to women.
I mean, listen, I can't prove it to you. Like, that's what I think. It's my opinion. Like, I don't think it's a good idea.
Right. So when we talk about essentially like our opinions or our premises, these are supported by arguments, and you just really haven't made any coherent argument, and you haven't refuted any of my arguments.
I mean, one argument could be that most leaders were men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we just explained to you like why that was the case, right? Like we didn't. Okay, so here's like the deal, right? This is not like a therapy session where we just share our feelings. Like I'm not here to provide a feeling stick where we just say, well, I feel that men are better or I feel that women are better. We have outlined why we think that men should submit to women. You have not provided evidence why women should submit to men. And anything that you have brought up, we have been tackling with counter arguments that you have conceded to or not found any other counter arguments for. Therefore, we either won the debate and you're conceding, or you're dropping. Or you bring a different argument. Those are the three options.
Oh.
Thank you, Anissa, for the Venmo. You are the best. I really appreciate it. W Anissa in the chat. Do you have anything else, Cass?
No, not really, no.
Okay. Well, you have the day you deserve, sir.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Excellent.
Good. How are you?
Doing good. A couple things. Hold on 1 second. Microphone's all messed up. Using AirPods right now. Couple questions. I see that your men should submit to women, and I know you were trying to make the argument with the other guy that he was trying to make the argument that women should submit to men. I would argue that nobody should submit to anybody, because if that's true unity around the world, if you want to get people to get along with one another, you wouldn't want to do either one of those, and that would solve a lot of conflict and violence and animosity towards groups of people. But I see that you're pro-abortion. My first question is, are you worried about, because you're proud of your achievements, right? You would say you're a smart person, right? You're intelligent, right?
Sure.
Okay. Why wouldn't you want to pass that on to another child, and then you can continue that bloodline going?
What do you think pro-abortion means?
I have a child.
Do you have a child?
I don't think I don't think intelligence is hereditary.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Why wouldn't you just put it in society in general? Like, why can't I just share my knowledge and my wisdom with my nieces and nephews and maybe like even other members of society and therefore better the society in that way? Why do I have to have a biological child?
You don't have to. I would just asking why you wouldn't want to. That's all.
I mean, there's several reasons.
It's a positive thing.
You
It's a very
acknowledge
positive
desire.
thing.
So you acknowledge desire. So if I don't have a desire to be a parent, then why would I be?
Okay, well, that's your right.
What do you think?
But that's just, one of those things where I wish you the best and hope you're not miserable in the end years of your life, because a lot of women, down the line, the older they get, a lot of them come to the conclusion like, hey, I wish I would have had children. I wish I would have had a family. I wish I would have had, a good relationship with someone. What am I basing that on? Quite a few interviews you can find online, studies, articles.
Can you name one?
Yeah, I would like to see one.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure actually statistics show that women are happiest when they're single.
Okay, well, good.
What is your source though, so we can compare them?
I'm just gonna go with what you're telling me. So women are better when they're more happy when they're single. Okay, all right. My second question.
One second. It does say in conclusion, twin studies show that an individual differences in human intelligence can largely be 50 to 80% explained by genetic influences, making intelligence one of the most heritable traits. I didn't know that. That's neat. No wonder my son's so wicked smart.
Well, resolution, I just have another question really quick. So do you think it's fair to just have children in order to benefit yourself? Don't you think that's selfish? Just because I don't want to be lonely when I'm old, therefore I shall have children? Isn't that a huge responsibility that you put on a child?
I guess it's subjective. It depends on the person, but I'm just basing this off of a lot of
motivation.
A motivation of what? To be happy that you're passing on? To be happy that you're having children?
The motivation to have children is to have companionship when you're older.
Or to see your family line get passed on to where they can have more children, and your family name and everything you represent as a person, your character, is passed on to those people, and it's passed on by generation.
I don't think that one individual represents their entire family line.
No, but you can continue the trend of whatever's positive in your family line into generations.
How would you know what is positive based on your family, like your bloodline, your genetics?
Anything that you're proud of?
How would you know that's genetic and not just either based on being social or your experience?
How would I know it's genetic? Well, I can't tell you that because I wouldn't know. I'm not you. I'm not the person that you brought into the world.
How would I know it's genetic then? How would I know that these positive traits that I'm proud of come from a genetic bloodline or are not just because of my specific social conditioning or experience?
Didn't you just a second ago look up what I was talking about? And it pretty much proved I was correct about it. And then you said, wow, that no wonder my kid's so smart. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So that's one trait. That's one trait. So what other traits?
that him as a man knows what's best for women in general? Him as a man who believes that logic came from a higher power knows what's best for humankind and women?
I mean, gosh darn, Sean, all these men love to come on and tell me what's best for me. And they all tell me not to be with men, so maybe.
Hello. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Good old AirPods. Bluetooth. No, I don't think I should be making decisions for you as a man. You know, I'm a strong, toxic, masculine man. Yeah, no, I personally don't give a shit what you do, to be honest with you. I was just looking at
You told me
your.
to get cats. Why are you telling me what to do?
I was just fucking with you because it was funny. But your chat seems to think I have a shrimp dick and I'm a big baby with my baby bottle.
Oh, that was funny as hell. Can I get a whole bunch of laughing faces in the chat? Because that was funny as fuck.
Shit.
Yeah,
W resolution.
Yeah, can we get W's in the chat?
Bitch, I can't even breathe right now. This nigga's so funny.
Ooh. Yeah, he's using the word, man. Woo.
But if you're offended, you should probably get off the internet.
You sound white. That's why I'm offended.
Yeah, but you are white, so.
But you just use the N-word as a white person, so you sound really stupid.
Do you see Sean's profile picture?
No, he doesn't see shit. Men don't see shit.
Sometimes you are a man. What do you mean? So you're talking about yourself, bro? Men don't see shit. All right.
Bro. Like this white boy is sitting up here trying to tell a black trans woman not to use words that are reappropriated.
Okay.
When he's sitting up here,
I didn't click your profile. Okay, now I did. So sometimes
my profile picture is right in front of you, my guy.
Yeah, it's small. I had to click it. So sorry about that.
It's not that small. It's not that small.
Sure, it's not small.
You said.
Sure, it's not small.
It's not that small.
How small is the one that they gave you when they did the surgical procedure? How small is it?
That's a weird question. Why you gotta be transphobic?
Why do you ask people's genitalia? That's really weird.
Why do you have the sickle and hammer and then say you're anti-fascist and you're trans? Is there a correlation there with all that?
The hammer and sickle is a symbol for communism.
Yeah, communism. And how many hundreds of millions? Hold on. How many hundreds of millions of people died in the name of communism?
They should have took out your
you want to
ancestors.
debate communism now?
I guarantee.
Let's please debate
communism. I'm gonna give you the disclaimer. Guarantee you don't want to go down this road with me. I promise.
You have Sean and Bell. You have Sean and Bell in this communism debate. Like, you're literally taking on Kobe and Jordan.
Here we go. You're gonna.
I'm just like, if you want to do it, I'm here for it because you literally have the Kobe and Jordan of communism. So please, by all means, go ahead. I'm gonna go make some popcorn for real.
I'm cooked. Okay. Are we serious? We're gonna debate communism? What are we doing here?
If you want to debate communism, and Kinsey says it's okay, this is it's not going to take long, but I promise you don't want to go down this road with us. Like this is the road.
So you want to talk about the atrocities of Pol Pot? You want to do that? Let's go.
Pol Pot was funded by the CIA, and he admitted.
That's conspiracy theory. It's tinfoil. You sound like a Trump supporter.
There's CIA documents showing that Cambodia was funded by the CIA.
No, you sound tinfoil and conspiracy and Alex Jones-ish. You're
okay,
a MAGA
excellent.
supporter.
All right, excellent.
Alex Jones is not a communist.
You're a MAGA supporter. You sound like a conspiracy theorist, bro.
Show me a source. Did you say I'm a Mao supporter?
No, you're a MAGA supporter. You're a conspiracy theorist.
Which is wild.
Are you?
You're a conspiracy theorist, dude. Where'd you get the information that the CIA funded
These are
Pol Pot?
These are the weirdest dunks. Like,
right?
Did you get that off of Wikipedia? Did you get that off of
seriously with an argument about communism? And
Did you get that off of Associated Press fact checkers? Is that where you got that?
Like you're sitting here just calling us like right wingers because you think it actually makes a difference to us.
There's a correlation with conspiracy theories and right wingers. So you must be a right winger, right?
Yeah, there's also a correlation between, you were upset about the chat earlier. There's also a correlation with toxic masculinity and small dicks, but you were upset about that.
Let me ask you something. Are you a male to female transition or are you a female to male transition?
I'm whatever your dad likes.
Okay, so if men are so evil, why did you want to be one?
So you're moving away from communism?
No, I'm just curious.
Wait, no.
No,
We're debating communism. It's so weird. It's so weird that you're like
anybody that knows
hung up
about
on
anything
this.
in history,
Yeah, this is
that reads
really
a history
weird.
book knows that the atrocities of communism.
Then let's
and socialism.
talk about the atrocities of
Then
communism.
debate it, my guy.
There's nothing to debate.
Like,
You can literally
make
go on
your
Google
argument.
and type in communism, and you can read anything you want about it.
So you're not going to debate it.
There's
You
nothing
can't.
to debate.
You literally cannot.
It's a historical fact that,
You literally
that
just
is
said
responsible for
atrocities
the deaths and sufferings of hundreds of
So
millions
is
of people.
capitalism. So capitalism fits that criteria.
So you're telling me that capitalism has had a higher body count than communism?
Yes, way higher.
You guys
Way
are
higher.
retarded.
Way
Bye.
fucking higher. Like
Absolutely
insanely
retarded.
fucking higher. And so now you're just using slaves.
Ran?
Boy had to run.
Or did somebody kick her?
You ran, bro?
No, he
What
ran.
is happening?
Like, what was that? 2 minutes?
What is
I did not. That's
happening?
record time. That's record
That
time.
was insane. I
Oh
didn't
my
even get to make my argument.
Like, honestly though, like, I will say, like, that did it for me. That little, like, baby bitch performance,
Yo, I can't believe he dropped the slur and then ran, bro. That's insane. That's the
what
most
else is he gonna
cowardice
do?
shit.
What else is
That's
he
the
gonna
most
do?
cowardice shit I've ever seen in my life. All right.
Hello, welcome. Is it DIY or no? Dwill? Dial.
Hey.
Hey, welcome.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me. All right. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Hello. I'm doing good. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is not the best. Yeah, I see your live for a while now. It's my first time coming on here.
Well, I appreciate
So,
a fan.
thank you for having me.
Yeah.
So, no problem. So just a question. Could you explain the? I just got here. Could you explain the men should submit to women?
Yeah, so I think it's within like men's nature to submit, and that they would be fulfilling their masculine energy by submitting to women, and would just experience like the most happiest and fulfilling lives.
I'm so sorry. I didn't get that. My reception is bad. One more time, please.
Yeah, so I just think it's in men's nature to submit. And I think that men would be happiest and in their masculine energy if they just submitted to women. And
Okay.
that as a society, we would
Can
have the best outcomes
it could be my
through
vocab.
female leadership, authority.
Okay, female authority. You know, that's interesting. That's interesting. I thought about that the other day. You know, the Native Americans basically submitted to women too. And I was thinking about that the other day. Also, I read a book called Sex at Dawn. Have you heard of that?
I haven't.
Essentially, okay, but it's a good read. I'm not finished with it yet, but essentially female matriarchal societies genuinely did better. It was basically on why women. I'm sorry, I'm not saying my words right. Matriarchal societies generally did better than patriarchal societies, and there was less war.
Yeah, I would agree. That makes sense. I'm going to add it to my wish list. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Dawn. And also, can you say why women built humanity?
Yeah, so have you heard kind of like the phrase that a lot of men use, you know, that men built society?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you accept that premise, then you have to accept the premise that women built humanity.
Fair enough. That makes sense.
I'm glad we agree.
Okay. I mean, that's a point. Last thing I'm gonna say, I just wanted another thing. Just looking at your list, build humanity. How does the liberal feminism uphold white supremacy?
Liberal feminism typically focuses like on the material conditions that women experience within capitalism and looks to essentially advance women's efforts, which are typically white middle class women, and not recognizing the actual oppressions of capitalism that affect women of color. So I would argue that if we essentially execute white liberal feminism, then essentially white women will continue to oppress women of color, and not all women will be liberated.
Okay. Now, one thing I want to talk about, what I really wanted to do was toxic masculinity.
Okay.
How would you describe that?
I would describe it as marked by the behavioral traits of stoicism, competitiveness, aggression, dominance, misogyny, and homophobia.
I heard, sorry, you cut out. Please repeat that. My word reception is bad.
I would argue that would be through the traits of stoicism, competitiveness, aggression, dominance, misogyny, and homophobia.
Okay. How can you explain why stoicism would be bad?
Stoicism in itself isn't toxic, but the way that it's prescribed to masculinity is essentially repression of emotion, to where anger is the only acceptable public emotion that men can experience.
I understand. Well, here's where I disagree. Stoicism is not at all the repression of emotion. I'm reading the book Meditations by Mark.
Within this context.
Okay.
That's what I'm defining stoicism as, within this context of masculinity.
Got it. Okay. Yes. So repressing your emotions is definitely unhealthy. But okay. Well, I would like to just say this. People really misunderstand the concept of stoicism. Stoicism is not, you feel whatever you feel and push it down to the depths of your soul and not, open up about it. Stoicism is more so not letting your emotions get in the way.
That's fine. That's fine. Is there anything else you had?
Wait. No.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Sean, what did you want to say?
Yeah, that's not stoicism. Stoicism is just a repression of the feeling of pain. Like if you feel pain, not allowing yourself to express that you feel pain and to keep moving through that pain. I don't understand where people get this idea of stoicism where it's just don't let your pain get in the way. No, it's the lack of expression of it.
Lack of expression of it. It's more so stoicism, more of a more intelligent expression of it, if that makes sense. Say, for example,
even how it's defined in the dictionary doesn't reflect that. The dictionary definition is the endurance of pain or hardship without the display of feelings and without complaint.
Okay. Okay. But say, for example, this, right? I'm going to use a metaphor using physical pain and not, emotional pain. Say if I'm running from a tiger and I fall and sprain my ankle and fall and I'm in pain. I don't have time to sit there and nurse the injury. Yes, the best thing would be to put it up and put ice on it. But, that's not always an option. That's not always an option. And sometimes stoicism is needed. And I do agree that men, are thought to be completely stoic, don't cry, don't show emotion. Yeah, that's 100% true. I'm there with you 100%. But
I don't think that what you just described is an example of stoicism.
Okay.
Yeah, what you just described, number one, does not happen in modern society. No one's getting chased by a tiger and needs to stop showing their pain of their sprained ankle. That's not something that's happening. Are we never, you know what? Never mind.
I mean, yeah, even if you do, if you sprain your ankle while running from a tiger, I don't care what you do, you're done.
Okay, I'd like to just explain my point a little bit further, but running from a tiger. I meant that metaphorically. Now, allow me to translate that to my
You were talking
point.
about physical pain. How is that a metaphor?
The metaphor is that I was thinking a metaphor for physical pain, but I could translate the philosophy of keep running. For example, if I run from a tiger, I sprain my ankle, but I have no choice but to get up and keep running, because I'm running for my life. I know that's not good for my ankle. Some things have to happen. I remember.
I don't think that context is consistent because we can see that men do this when it comes to their health. Like men are less likely to go to the doctor because they don't want to be told that they're sick because that's an element of weakness, or because if they actually are sick and they have to get treatment, then it could take them out of work, which they probably can't afford to do so. So then this sickness aggravates and they end up dying sooner. So I would actually argue that that's not to their benefit, because if they would have addressed the sickness, they would have lived a longer, happier life.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but now if I could translate this to emotional pain, I remember finding out that
I really don't want to kind of get into the semantics of stoicism because it sounds like you and I agree when applying masculinity.
Okay, when it applies to toxic masculinity. All right. Can I just state this one point? Sometimes when we are in emotional pain, for example, I found out you can turn this just playing sports. I remember playing a sport and I messed up. It was playing soccer. Okay, my point is that sometimes, yes, I agree that it is best to express your feelings, express your emotions, and, or in other words, cry if you need to, seek counseling. Let your emotions out and process your emotions. My point is that sometimes that's not always an option. That is why I use the metaphor of, okay, I'm hurt, but I'm running for my life right now. I don't have time to sit down and put ice on my ankle, Now, I understand that might have been a stupid metaphor, running from a tiger. Yeah, the tiger's going to get me regardless. But I like to say that sometimes...
I don't know why that specifically applies to men. So when we talk about stoicism, the American Psychology Association actually gave guidelines on how to counsel and deal with men because this is such a detriment to their health. This isn't like saying like, oh, men should show their emotions even when it's inconvenient. That doesn't make any sense. It's essentially because of the way men have been brought up to be self-sufficient, be able to take care of themselves. Any sense that things aren't okay needs to be kept secret. Part of what happens is men who keep things to themselves look outward and see that no one else is sharing any of their conflicts they feel inside. That makes them feel isolated. They think they're alone. They think they're weak. They think they're not okay. They don't realize that other men are also harboring private thoughts and private emotions and private conflicts. Isolation and feelings of weakness typically are one of the reasons that a lot of men commit suicide. So this is affecting men too, where they don't feel they have a community and can share their struggles, which is leading to poor mental health outcomes. So that's why stoicism is not, and I would argue too, then they're also having less meaningful relationships with the people around them, especially with their children, with their partner, because again, vulnerability, love, compassion, crying, stuff like that is seen as as weakness. So it's not only harmful to the people around them, but harmful to them themselves.
Okay. I completely hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying, but there's just one thing on my own experience and that I'd like to say.
What is the point?
But there's one thing about my own experience I'd like to put in. Everything you just described was my father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having somebody I've watched my father, he has a lot of toxic masculinity in him for sure. No doubt there. You would definitely say, he'd explode on people. Because he's hoarding a lot of emotions down. And I'm not disagreeing with your point about the stoics. I'm not disagreeing with your toxic masculinity, that people don't need help, that men don't need help. But one thing you have to understand is, in a way to communicate that to boys, you have to let them know that, yes, it is okay to cry, but sometimes some stoicism, for women too, stoicism is necessary in some cases.
Yeah, that's just toxic masculinity. You should break that. Do we have any other points we're talking about?
Okay. Let's think. Let me see. Men should submit to women.
Oh no. Must have been your service.
Hello, Kenzie.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. I just wanted to talk about the expound, I guess, on men should submit to women. I know that's kind of where the other one started. You mentioned that men are, was it more happily, more fulfilled in their manhood if they submit to women, something like that?
I think submission is more inherent to male nature, and that they would be more in their masculine energy if they submitted to women.
So, if I understand correctly, your masculine energy would grow under the submission to women? Is that what I'm
You would
understanding?
be, I don't know if like energy grows or contracts, but you would be in it more. It's more like an aura.
That's interesting. Do you think that would be like something to help society as a whole, or just a recommendation to like, be more in tune with women in a partnership? Or do you think that the whole submission thing is only under certain circumstances and there should be more of an equality when it comes to men and women?
No, I think women should be essentially the authority and leaders in most sectors. So I would say when it comes to like economic sectors, political sectors, and social sectors like family, then yeah, women should be the authority.
That's interesting. I kind of agree, with your take on that. I don't know if I would call it submission. I think that's. I guess it is kind of a submission, but like in my case, I don't know that I submit to my wife, but I do take everything that she says in very high regards because I do see a lot of wisdom, that comes from the women in my life, including my wife. You know, so
Well, I
I
think
don't know.
even if you look at male institutions, like the military and like the police and kind of even like the upper echelon of like Wall Street and kind of like the boys club, it's like submission is like the foundation of it.
I guess is the word.
Men like submitting to authority and taking orders.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's kind of how, like, discipline, the basis of discipline is submission, right? Especially like in the military and places like that of authority. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess I agree. I I guess because of how we are raised in society, the word submission kind of like creates like a short circuit in our brains, and it's hard to process that word.
Sure,
But
sure.
again, when it comes to like my relationship with my wife, I don't know if I submit to her, but I do think that we strive for equality in listening to each other and growing together. And that has worked out great for me. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And then
good. I'm glad to hear that.
I see my dad. He grew up in a whole different era. He's like 80, he's almost 90 years old. And he never submitted to anything that my mother said. You know what I mean? And I think that created a lot of chaos and a lot of resentment in their relationship. I mean, they're still together, obviously, but my mom was never happy, and my dad was always. I don't think he made the best choices because he never learned to submit in any form, to my mom and to her wishes and desires and wisdom. I don't know if that makes sense, but
No,
I
I
do see
agree.
that.
I forget the title of the book, but there is one guy who wrote a book essentially on relationships and said that the outcome of a relationship is primarily due to male behavior. Because women will typically leave relationships that they're unhappy in, and that's based on how the man approaches the relationship. There's also a study that said children, one of the biggest metrics of children having the best outcomes within family is when mom is happy. So I think men, if they want to be in long-term committed relationships, it would be good to submit to their wives and, you know, make sure the mothers of their children are happy.
Yeah, I think that's very wise, like, way of seeing things. And I think men need to kind of learn to digest that, you know. In my case, I'm an attorney, but my wife and I both started almost at the same time in our educational journey. And, you know, the support that we had for each other, specifically, she supported me at the beginning, and then, you know, it was her turn to go and get her degree. And now she's also an attorney, right? She's got passed all the things. She's gonna have her license here soon. But I think
that's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. What I'm trying to say is that symbiosis, I guess, in the relationship, I think was important in me understanding when and how to submit to my wife, and then her also submitting to some of. That I got a phone call. I don't know if can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Anyways, so I do think that I think it is important, and I do think that a lot of times it works both ways. But I do agree that I think men thrive when they learn to listen and understand women, and in a sense submit. I know it sounds, you know, very triggering for some men, especially those who grew up in a more machismo community. You know, I'm Hispanic myself. And that's really hard to understand. But if you know how to, you know, balance it, I think people can grow exponentially in their relationship and just in life generally. So anyways, I just wanted to come up and expound on that, you know, get some wisdom from you.
No, thank you. I appreciate you. You have a great day.
Thank you.
He's so nice for a lawyer, too.
She there? Kristen, you there?
I don't think she is. She's not coming up on, oh, she's gone now.
Oh, I thought you dropped her. She was on pause for. It looked like she was on pause for me.
Yeah, she never loaded on my host side. That's all I got.
I think we've done a sufficient amount of eating today, I must admit. I'm full, I think. That capitalism eat was crazy, though. That was definitely that was fun. It did not take him very long. Always enjoyed it.
That was really entertaining. Like that left me very fulfilled.
Yeah. It's saying hundreds of millions? Come on, bro. The Black Book of Communism doesn't even say hundreds of millions. Jesus Christ.
It says 100 million.
Every single
He
time,
was so triggered. It felt so good.
Every single time,
better than the cunt guy.
Yeah. I hear a new number every single time I talk to somebody. It's can y'all not reach a fucking consensus at the very least? Oh my god.
I start telling people, unfortunately, our leaders aren't that based. When they're Stalin killed 100 million people, I was like, he wasn't that based.
Clearly, we did not alive enough Nazis.
Sean!
Let's not give him credit he doesn't deserve.
No, Sean is right. They clearly did not alive enough Nazis because they clearly fucking exist.
Have you seen Poland? Have you seen modern day Poland?
Literally. had a lot more to do.
Funny. I was really excited for him to debate communism against you guys. Like, the two best people on fucking TikTok to debate with. And I was like, please give it to me. It's in my life.
And he just ran. He fucking ran. Crazy.
He did. He ran very quickly.
Can't blame him.
It wasn't literally minutes. Literally minutes.
Dropped the slur and then ran.
Yeah. It's the way, like, you always can tell before they, like, leave because they know they're caught. When they say the slur, it's because they want you to also kick them. So that they can be like, oh, look, I owned the libs and they fucking kicked me because they couldn't take what I was saying. Like, no, bro, we just dropped you because you said a fucking slur. But they always say something unhinged, knowing they're gonna get dropped for it. Just so they can claim that win.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
He definitely left his own, though. Good for him. He knew his place. Yeah, he pivoted from his studies. Yeah, of course he did.
I did not hear about the RTP versus MOD debate. If I'm being 100% honest, it does not sound interesting.
Yeah, I've never.
Who's Emodi?
Mother of Dragons.
Oh, MOD. I thought you said emoti. I'm like, who's Emoti? Does Mother of Dragons really debate?
No.
She just screams.
Absolutely not. She just makes stuff up.
I don't think I even know who that is, to be honest.
Mother of Dragons?
Yeah.
She is the worst. I actually think Anonymous did a video on her, like calling her out for pretending to be a lawyer and just saying like how harmful she was to the trans. Like, Anonymous fucking got a hold of this bitch. Like, I hope you know you have a problem if Anonymous is doing videos on you.
Real. You know, the one and only time I've seen RTP is when he went on Parker's Live when she had or when he had that woman Marianne Williamson or whatever on.
Oh yeah.
That's the first time I'd ever seen RTP.
What did he ask her?
I don't remember exactly, but I remember he was like, oh no, I do. He asked her about like conspiracy theory, I guess, stuff that she's like fed into before. And she basically just denied it, and he was like, I'll pull up the videos, and she was just continuing to deny it. That's pretty much it. Can anyone let me know in the chat, like, is he a liberal?
Oh yeah, he's definitely a liberal.
He is? Oh.
It's definitely. Which is why it's a pass for me. Like, I give 5 minutes of my time and I'm out of there.
I know, I really should unfollow him.
I mean, I don't care if anyone follows him or anything, or if you like watching.
I do. I want to own the lid. I don't watch him.
Fair enough.
I mean, he sent me a raid.
Debate. I'm just saying, for me, it's going to be a nah. I don't watch libs debate.
Even if he's a former
It feels so
conservative,
pointless sometimes.
Extremely pointless.
Yeah.
Extremely pointless.
It's just like, how can we explain like systemic issues while avoiding naming capitalism at all fucking costs? I think that's all that feels like.
Ooh. Somebody said, let's talk about the creators paid by the DNC.
Bro.
Yeah, like I felt we already talked about Harry. God, there's another kid too that I don't know his name, but he's got
the Hassan video, right?
Yeah, he's like friends with Harry too. I have Harry blocked because I just can't see the debates anymore.
If you guys haven't seen, Hassan like made a video about TikTok Democrat debaters. Or like, I guess, TikTokers, and he
it's Chris.
He made fun of Chris, Parker, and Tommy.
Oh, I didn't see him make fun of Parker.
Oh no, not Parker. I guess no. Parker wasn't on there, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I meant Harry, not Parker.
Yeah, the
Harry,
Tommy one was actually
Harry
really
Chris
good. Like, I actually enjoyed that one.
It was good. It was really good. What's wrong with them? They're just like they're liberals. I don't know. That's like pretty much it. Like
they're just that's it. Like they're just libs. That's
period.
the whole thing.
Dean, really? Dean said like homophobic and misogynistic shit.
Yeah. Go back to those screenshots, I guess. And just like calling people the F slur.
Yeah, he told a woman once that like she was unhappy because she hasn't felt the touch of a man.
Oh, that's crazy.
Isn't it?
Crazy. That's misogynistic as fuck. Holy shit.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know things about these people. My thing is, if you like a person, like for anyone in the chat, if you like watching a person or watching debates, I don't care. I just don't watch them because they're libs. I don't like libs. That's really just it. I'm not saying the person's a terrible person, just saying that their ideology is ass. I don't.
No, I agree. The really only the TikTok lives I watch are the religious debates.
Really? Damn.
Yeah,
I've
like
just been watching
like
like commie lives.
atheist troll. Oh no, yeah, I like those too. Like I'll watch Kevin's and I'll watch Liv's, especially like too when I can't join. To me, it's like talk radio.
Parker is not a socialist. Parker is a liberal.
Wait, Parker, isn't he a sock dem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
a
no,
what?
he's
Oh, a sock dem. I'm like, what?
so yeah, no, he's definitely a lib. He's definitely a liberal. He's more of your Bernie Sanders liberal. He's not quite your. You wouldn't go that far?
No, he admitted that. Like, I mean, at least Bernie Sanders pretends to be a socialist.
I do like Parker. I think actually Parker's really genuine and a nice person. I just don't like that he's liberal.
Yeah.
It's literally this. Parker's personality is pretty cool. Like Parker, like gets me hyped sometimes, and I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, he's just a lib. That's the whole thing. That's the whole grievance.
Yep.
Yeah, Parker's been rude. Like I've never had an issue with Parker. He's asked me to come on his platform. He's hosted feminist debates for me. Anytime I've asked Parker to do something for the community, he's done it. He's a really nice guy. It's just I disagree with his liberal takes.
I remember like watching Dean when he was doing like men are not superior to women debates or something like that.
Yeah, he still does.
And he would be like, he would always like be like, oh, you want to live in a communist society? Like just the way that it was just like Red Scare propaganda. I don't even know, like I don't remember the context of how he would do it. I just remember him like anytime the person like said anything about like living in a society that like is, I don't know, like I don't know. I don't remember like when he would bring it up. I just remember him constantly just like, bringing up communism as like bad thing. It was like early on when he started debating, and I was always just like, what is happening?
You know, it is really interesting. I forget if I was having this conversation with Sean or who I was talking about this with. You know, I think when it comes to like debating politics and stuff like that, if you're going to have social issues, you have to have some kind of experience or link with that social issue, which is why I debate feminism. But like as a cisgendered heterosexual white guy, like what do you have?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's crazy. So the problem. Can I answer this question? The problem with liberalism. The problem with liberalism is that they are not based. Get based, lib. I wish I had the Soviet national anthem I could play right now, just to.
Real.
The problem is that they advocate for capitalism and they don't have any solutions to issues. There's no liberal solution to an issue. You can't name one. You can't legislate out fascism. You can't legislate out racism. You can't legislate out men's violence. Let's go. Get based, lib. Get based, lib.
All right, start spitting, Sean. Start spitting.
Workers of the world come together. We must stand and end this tyrannous reign of fascism that is the United States and its 400 years of oppression of black people, of women, of gay people, of children, of indigenous people, and people of the diaspora of Africa, people of the diaspora of South America, and people of the diaspora of all Asian countries. This is not something we've made up. Capitalism kills 25 million people a year. That's 100 million people every 4 years, simply because, and these are of like things like preventable diseases. These are things like of people being unhoused, people being hungry. Capitalism has no solution. America alone has 1 in 5 households that go hungry every night. America has 80% of its people 1 paycheck away from being unhoused. America has an unhoused population that 40% of them have full-time jobs and they're still unhoused. How do you have a full-time job and you're still unhoused? That's a failure of the system. That's not a failure of the person. You mean to tell me that 80% of people are lazy? You mean to tell me that 99% of Americans are lazy and that Elon Musk does a lot of work? Fuck off. Fuck all the way off. Are you kidding me? Get base lib.
Oh, that was good. That was good. You need to make a clip of that.
That is so good. That is so good.
I guess we got a request in that time.
Hey, Miss Kenzie. I just come up to ask you whether you'd seen the report released by the Australian government on the gender pay gap.
When was it released?
About 2 days ago. It includes naming and shaming of corporations. They've also released the data for review. Just thought that might
Australian
interest
gender
you.
pay gap reports exposes top companies. That's crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, it was just something I thought might be useful for you to have a look at and use in your debates.
No, I appreciate that. The pay gap really triggers them.
I just like the fact that they named and shamed the companies.
That is pretty crazy.
Okay, that's all I wanted to come up and suggest to you. So
I appreciate
have
it.
some fun with that.
How Australians top firms fare on gender pay gap. I'm trying to find out which is the low, like how they're organizing this. Oh, okay.
A picture of Belle's dad.
Dad? Girl. I wish. Yeah, I wish I came out of that man. Nope. I came out of a racist conservative, actually.
Oh, he's so bad too.
Yeah.
He's so bad. He's pretty much like a passport bro now, isn't he?
All jokes aside, what you tell me about your dad is crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really a miracle that I turned out the way I am, because like everybody in my family is like conservative, and my dad's side of the family especially is like real bad. The only like one saving grace is my grandma, my mom's mom. She's a queen. She's amazing. But everyone, like, I don't know how I turned out the way I am. It might be that I'm like the only woman in the family, really, other than like my grandma. Very possible, because all my cousins are men. But yeah. How much do I have to pay to fight Belle's dad? Nothing. I will pay you to do it. Even.
Oh, she tries to fight him all the time in text messages.
Yeah, no, we're constantly
And
fighting.
then he pretty much just replies, "Nah, love you, hun."
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this anymore, bye, basically. Yeah. I love it so much. It's awesome.
My family was similar too, but it was very much like a gender divide because My grandma wasn't as bad as my uncles, but I would put her more in the category with my uncles. Like my 2 uncles and my grandma, very conservative. My mom and her 2 other sisters were very liberal. And so I was definitely more liberal. And then I joined TikTok, and like Sean obviously brainwashed me to be a rad femme commie. So that's where we are.
Sean did?
That's my goal. That's what I strive
I'm just saying that because she's here. No.
That's what I when you said it, I said, let's go. Let's fucking go.
No,
Oh my gosh.
I would say the entire feed. Like, it's been a really interesting arc here on TikTok. I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I can tell now that certain statements I make are like, my mom gets really annoyed because I'm like so much more far left than she is.
Love it. Yeah, I'm just here to
So
indulge.
my aunt,
Your aunt?
my aunt was a teacher. Yeah, my aunt was a teacher in Holland. That's why I was born in the Netherlands, because when my mom was in college, she did her student teaching over there. And that's how she met my dad. So my aunt was also a landlord over in Holland. When I lived with her when I was a teenager, she had her apartment, and then she bought a house closer to work, and she rented out the apartment. And in Holland, the renter has more rights than the landlord. And my aunt had to pay him to relocate.
Oh.
And so she finally just sold her apartment, even though she's been retired and living back here for the last 2 years. And I was like, good. I think that's great. Yeah, the person still needs access to housing. She obviously had someone pay a lot of her equity. That's a very small expense, like W. Holland. And I could tell she was annoyed, being like, no, it's not her responsibility. I'm like, it absolutely is. Like,
100%. When you said your aunt was a landlord, the meme, you know that meme of like LeBron and all them, and they're like leaning back, like, oh, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And then when you said renters have more rights than landlords in Holland, I imagine them doing the thing where they're like, okay, all right, it's good, we're good. I was imagining like Mao doing that. Like the meme of LeBron, but it's like Mao in the Red Army just being like, what's happening? Okay, we're good. We're all good.
you need to share the meme with me. You guys always talk about memes, and I never know. Like, I need to join like some meme Reddit group to like catch up to you all, because you guys are always talking about these memes, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Get memed.
That's even just the fact that, like you said, join like a meme Reddit group.
What? Why not?
I don't really think it's like...
There's gotta be one, right?
Yo, I was gonna let it slide. Belle, you're ruthless. You're ruthless. That's crazy.
Why do I like you bitches? Why are you literally my 2 favorite people? We just need Athena, and I feel like, and Cher too.
Oh, sorry. No, it's usually not like groups on Reddit. Usually it's just like subreddits that you can post on if you want, but you're not like part of a group.
They're a group? What do you mean?
On Reddit, it's subreddits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me the meme.
Reddit calls it communities. Like they say to this community. And I'm just like, hold on there. Like we just met.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep. No, what's crazy though, actually, last night I spent like an hour scrolling on like Aaron Bushnell's Reddit page, and he's like, he was woke up the ass, but he was an anarchist for what much. But he had like,
did you see that a cop was pointing a gun at him?
Yeah. It was an Israeli, I think, defense guy or whatever, but he had a bunch of posts like making fun of people in the military like dying. And he said all military like men are bad. I was like, oh?
What a feminist queen.
Yeah. Yeah, he has literally in like r/ACAB, he has all military are bad. I'm like, all right. Yeah, no, he's real for that though. But yeah, his Reddit's crazy. Bing bong. Oh, they just suspended his account last night. Oh my god, I can't even look at it anymore. Wow. That's crazy. Well, I took a few screenshots, I guess. Yeah, he had one post that was like a tweet of the DOD. It says DOD announces the name of 3 Army Reserve soldiers killed yesterday and named them. And then he posted it to r/acab and said, "Oh no, anyway." .jpg. I was like, oh, wow. I haven't tried the Wayback Machine, actually. That's a good point. Wayback Machine. They would take his shit down. That's crazy.
Someone tagged Revolution in one of my videos and said, "Keep it taking the L, kiddo."
Oh.
Man, I feel like my last video isn't performing well because I tagged the original creator.
Damn. Yeah, it says Wayback Machine is not archived to that URL. God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why that's crazy that they've taken it down. Cause yeah, just last night I was like scrolling through it, seeing stuff that he said. I'm gonna read this one that he said about Palestine, because he fucking ate. He says, "Hey, so I am not Palestinian and I'm in no position to endorse or condemn Hamas's actions. That being said, neither are most people, and there are a lot of confidently ignorant opinions being thrown around. There are no Israeli civilians or tourists who have no part in the oppression of Palestine. That idea doesn't make any sense and betrays a lack of understanding. I'm guessing you mean portrays a lack of understanding of what the oppression of Palestine even is. Israel is a settler colonialist apartheid state. All of its residents or their immediate forebears have moved there specifically to settle on stolen land whose people are being cornered and cleansed just a few miles away or right next door in the case of the West Bank. There are no Israelis or the genocide of Palestinian people. To bring this into stark relief, there is the example of the music festival, which the liberal states and media have had such a point of clutching their pearls over. A music festival, how could it get more innocent than a music festival? That music festival is happening more than 3 miles from the border of Gaza, within sight of the border wall. Imagine a similar event happening in the early days of colonization of North America. Can you really say that indigenous people are wrong for retaliating against colonizers who are rubbing their domination in their face?" Which I'm like, God! 8!
Wow.
Yeah. He said a lot of like really.
I can see why they took it down.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of like anti-military and really woke takes, if you will. Whose post was that? That was Aaron Bushnell, the man that self-immolated. Yeah, his protest being in uniform, yeah, also crazy. It's the way he took off his hat, dumped like it on his head, and then put his hat back on. I was like, oh wow, that's meaning. Sean, I'm curious what your take is on something.
Oh, I gotta put my...
Unmute, babe. Have you seen the Twitter fights over people saying "rest in power" for Aaron Bushnell?
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
I don't necessarily care about the rest in power thing. Number one, I've been over Twitter for a long time, but rest in power.
It's called X.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Please respect her pronouns.
Absolutely, 100%. But yeah, I've been done with it for like so long. But the rest in power has been something Black people used for a long time. Mm-hmm. I really thought about white people using it or using it for a white person, but like we use it for white people all the time. So I don't necessarily know what people on Twitter are talking about. Like when Daniel Shaver died, we said rest in power, like because he was shot by police like he was a black man. And the whole point is to end police brutality with Black Lives Matter. So, I mean, I don't necessarily care. I don't think this is an important thing. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw one person that was on there on Twitter that said, like, they said Aaron Bushnell was a white man who lit himself on fire for other white people. I was like, Palestinians are white now? Like, what the fuck? What do we mean by that? And then somebody was like, that's literally bullshit.
Right.
Sorry?
A lot of these takes are like brain dead takes that people like do. And they're just like, yeah, I'm just like, these are lib takes. I don't care.
Yeah. No, they said that, and then somebody was like, that's like bullshit. And then they responded with a picture of like the United States government classifies like Arab people as white. I'm like, why are we listening to the United States designations of race? Like, why
I feel
is
like
that?
I read that too.
Yeah. That's crazy, because no white supremacist is going to see an Arab person and be like, what's up, my Aryan brethren? Like, they don't fucking claim them.
I can't hear Belle. Can anyone else?
Hello?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Yep. Did I cut out?
Yeah.
Where?
What's the last thing you before you went on mute,
I feel
Belle?
like I heard
I don't
cake.
Oh, I didn't. I think I was just saying that. Did you hear me say that the U.S. government they cited the U.S. government citing them as white?
Yeah, we heard that
Yeah.
part.
I was just saying that like nobody fucking considers them as white. Like, white supremacists are not going to see like a Arab person and be like,
Right,
we are
right.
united.
No, we heard that part. All right, so Belle didn't cut out, but just put on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, she just stopped talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
It's because Arab people. Oh, Envy.
That's unusual. It's crazy.
I feel like Belle's more well behaved on my live because there was one time Drew tried to post a clip from his live, and within like I think he sent it to me with like I checked it within like 3 minutes, and I'm like the sound is gone. And he's like, I think Belle said shut the fuck up too much.
No, I think the clip that you're talking about was the guy that had like, oh my god, the guy that lost his mind on me. Like, I think he was saying that like Ronald Reagan wasn't a neoliberal. And I was like, you can't be fucking serious. Like, he was like, he's a conservative. And I was like, what are conservatives? Like, I was like, you can't be this stupid.
Wait, please,
Yeah.
hold on.
Uh-huh.
This isn't real, right? This didn't happen.
It was, yeah. No, Drew has the clip of it. And when I told...
I think the clip's in the Discord.
It is. I'll tag you in it, Sean, because I can't post it or I can't play it on live because I will get banned. But like, I just kept saying like, what is a conservative? What is a neoliberal? And he was like, you fucking like shut the fuck. And he's like, can I fucking speak? I was like, oh my god. And then just started calling me like a whore. Like, just like, oh, he went off. It was crazy. It was so crazy. I think I sent the clip into Kenzie's Discord as well. I'll send it again.
It should be in the Fetus Discord.
I
Yeah.
need to watch this. That's hilarious.
Yeah, please do it. I'm gonna mute just to make sure this is the actual video, and then I'll send it into your Discord.
He's Kenzie's Jen. That guy was wild.
Here, I'll send it into your Gen chat. There you go. I posted it in your Gen chat. Everybody can go listen. Cause, oh, it was crazy. I've never had someone go so ballistic before. Can you see that?
So,
Gen chat?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
So there was one time back like when I went on Tommy's live. I had debated this guy in Jules' live. when she was posting like late night lives, and I think we debated at like 4 a.m. or something. And then he came on Tommy's live, and he was like wanting to debate COVID. And one of his arguments is like, I've never had COVID. And like, I was like, you are so undesirable and unattractive that even COVID doesn't want you.
Got him.
And like, even Tommy and Jane are like, whoa, that was harsh. And I'm like, you guys don't know him. He's a piece of shit, and he deserved it.
Very real.
And that's just like the energy Belle is all the time.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I will.
Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead. I didn't know you were talking.
No, I was gonna say I'm 100% more feral in Drew's live, just because, yeah, it's just that place for me to go and get my anger out on. It's like a how
in
quick
the
can I make
beginning. In the beginning, though, when we were kind of like in our abortion debate era, like in the beginning, though, you would come on my live, and be pretty feral to people in abortion debates.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, I think it's so good. Now it's just like in Drew's life, it's like a competition of like how can I make the men like freak the fuck out, like how quick, set the timer, you know? It's so fun.
Oh, Kiara is back. I hope your MRI was okay.
What were you trying to say, Sean?
I was just going to say that I do behave more in Kinsey, in your live, but I be having times. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's because
Oh, you behave more in my life than in whose? I saw you. Yeah, I saw you cheating on me the other day with Liv. I was really upset.
I started in I didn't start in Liv's lives. That's not true. I started with my own lives. I don't do my own lives anymore because honestly, there's no reason anymore. It used to be because I couldn't find the time, but now that I have like a better time, like I could do my own lives. But I just kind of don't want to right now. I'll do them one day. But either way, the other than because I was doing Liv's lives before I did your lives. Like I knew Liv before I knew you, though.
Well, so
I knew
no,
both
it's
of you
not me
before I
being
knew you.
upset that you're in Liv's live. It's me being upset that you're in Liv's live while I'm live.
Usually, okay, that's not fair though, because if I go into Liv's
It's
live,
totally
I'll
fair. It's totally fair.
is it fair, really? Okay. Because I'll go into Liv's Live and be in Liv's Live for like 4 or 5 hours at a time. Sometimes I'm in there for 6 and 7 hours. And I don't even know that other people are live. And usually when I go into Liv's Live, and this is true, when I go into Liv's Live, usually I'm leaving your live.
You know, I agree that does happen, but I've also seen you go back and forth.
Yeah, I have gone back and forth. I would never deny that.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
I can go back and forth. Can I not go back
I see you. Clearly not, because I'm live. Like, why are you not here? Jeez, this is not a hard premise.
2 years ago when I had COVID, I was like alone in my room, just like feeling like absolute fucking dog shit, and I couldn't sleep because I couldn't fucking breathe through my nose, and I usually can't sleep for shit when I can't breathe through my nose. And I remember Sean was having a live that was just like, she was just like, drink your water, like take your meds, like this is a chill space, like you were just playing like calm music, and I was like, fuck, and I literally like I think I fell asleep to your live for like the first time.
I didn't know Sean had a dinner. Like, what?
Yeah.
I usually do wellness lives. Like when I used to go live all the time. And one of my lives the whole live would just be wellness live where I have like a background that's nice based on the season. And I just do like affirming shit and make sure people remember to do the shit that they are supposed to remember to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of telling people, hey, did you take your meds today? And they're like, holy shit.
Yeah. It was so blessed though. I needed it so bad.
You should get into ASMR. I would totally like that.
Real. Very true. Well,
Should we change topics, y'all? What are we thinking?
What time are you supposed to
I
be live until?
got I was gonna go till 5, so that's another hour and a half. But I mean, if you all are like full and satisfied, I could go take a nap.
You could try another background and we could restart maybe.
Okay, what are we thinking? I got Call Me Mommy and Call Me Daddy in here. Do we want to add? And by the way, Bella's Call Me Daddy.
It's true.
Do we want to add that?
Add communism?
Yeah. Like what do you?
You could just do like capitalism is like failing or something like that.
Capitalism L.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go.
I think capitalism
Anything
is failing
else?
is good. I think that's good enough, and then with your other topics as well.
Oh, so just add an additional one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll make it blue.
Well, you don't know memes, but you could be like, capitalism, trash. Liberalism, trash. Neoliberalism, trash. Me, feminism, I'm sick as fuck.
I'm the shit and the urine. Like something. Oh, when you like were cooking that old woman and you were just, I was like, oh.
I'm the shit and the urine? Oh my god.
That's what she was saying.
That's what I
I
said.
could see Sean saying that.
It was.
She took my LeBron line once.
I did. I stole that. I repurposed it. What did I say? I reallocated the LeBron line.
Yeah.
But no, I love when people say that and they're just like, "Oh, you're so arrogant," and I'm just like, "You think I'm arrogant?"
Yeah. Oh, this person does not disagree.
Oh.
Yeah, cacti. What are you doing here, cacti? Get out of here, you dirty commie.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch. I'm so fucking cute.